Hafideh and Managov Talawani, the Committee on Rules calls this meeting to order. And for the record, today is Wednesday, March 17, 2021, and the time is 2:04 p.m. Committee on Rules Director, Ms. Mary Maravilla, will you please take roll call of the members?
Chairperson, Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munoz Barnes.
Gaigia,
Vice Chair Shelton. Speaker Terlahi. Senator Nelson. Senator San Augustine. Senator Rangel. Senator Pito Terlahi. Senator Perez. Senator Blas. Senator Camacho Torres. Madam Chair, you have a quorum.
Sidus Masi, Madam Director, does the chair hear a motion to excuse our members not present?
Yes, Madam Chair. I move to excuse members not present.
It has been moved by Legislative Secretary Shelton and seconded by Senator Joe San Augustine that members not present be excused. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Colleagues, we are now on ratification of bills. Is there a motion to ratify the Committee on Rules meeting minutes from February 10th, 2021, which can be found on the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 01 Meeting Minutes? It has been moved by Senator Perez and seconded by Senator Joe San Augustine to ratify the Committee on Rules meeting minutes from February 10th, 2021. Are there any objections? Seeing and hearing no objections, motion carries. We are on item number 4. Moving on, I do apologize, colleagues. The ratification of referrals. I will note for the record that bills number 75-36 through 80-36 and 82-36 are forthcoming for referrals. I want to note that these bills were sent out for legal review. We have received a response earlier this morning, right before lunch, and the referrals will be forthcoming this afternoon. So note for the record. Thank you very much. We are now on Committee on Rules business. Item number 4. At this time, I will acknowledge for document tracking Legislative Secretary Shelton.
Sidus Masi, Madam Chair. Hafideh colleagues, the Legislative Secretary report today is as follows. Appointments by the Governor. There are 24 appointments submitted by the Governor to date. There was 1 appointment confirmed during the February 2021 session. Of the remaining 23 appointments, there are some pending confirmation, and none has extended beyond the authorized 90-day term limit. At this time, there are no zone change requests, and there are no rules and regulations requests. Sidus Masi.
Thank you, Legislative Secretary Shelton. Colleagues, we are on item number B, ratifications of referrals and re-referrals as of March 10th, 2021. Senator Shelton, you are recognized. I do apologize. The next on the item agenda is the ratification of referrals. The referrals of the bills and appointments are indicated. Each of the corresponding logs, which can be found on the Google Drive folder for the meetings titled 03 on the legislative item logs. Bills number 58 through 74-COR. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referrals of bill numbers 58-36 COR through 74-36 COR?
So moved, Madam Chair.
There has been a motion. Is there a second? A motion has been moved by Legislative Secretary Shelton and seconded by Senator Joe Augustine to ratify the referrals of bill numbers 58-36 COR through 74-36 COR. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. We have the referral of appointments. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify the referral of appointments?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Has been moved by Secretary Senator Amanda Shelton. Is there a second? It's been seconded by Senator Joe Augustine to ratify the referrals of the executive appointments. Are there any objections?
No objection.
Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. We are now in the referral of resolutions. Does the chair hear a motion to ratify referral of resolutions?
So moved, Madam Chair.
It has been moved by Legislative Secretary Senator Shelton. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Joe Augustine to ratify the referral of resolutions. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Colleagues, we are now moving right along to the session agenda, reports of standing committees by the chairpersons. We will move for the considerations of items eligible for placement on the session agenda. Committee reports for the following items have been duly filed and met the Committee on Rules Committee reports deadline on March 11th, 2021. And at this time, I will recognize at this time my Vice Chair.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I move to place on the session agenda from the Committee on Rules, Bill number 57-36 COR as amended, introduced by Committee on Rules by request of Imagahagan Guahan, the Governor of Guam, in accordance with the Organic Act of Guam, an act to appropriate funds within the Enhanced 911 Emergency Reporting System Fund from prior fiscal years.
It has been moved by Legislative Secretary Shelton and seconded by Senator Joe Augustine to place Bill number 57-36 COR into the session agenda. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Senator and Legislative Secretary Shelton, you're still recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Again, from the Committee on Rules, I move to place Bill number 40-36 COR, an act to add Section 1512.5 to Title V Guam Code Annotated relative to authorizing the refunding of Government of Guam Business Privilege Tax Bonds Series 2011A, Government of Guam Business Privilege Tax Bonds Series 2012B, and Government of Guam Business Privilege Tax Refunding Bonds Series 2015D and related matters onto the session agenda.
There has been a motion by Legislative Secretary Shelton to place Bill number 40-36 COR into the session agenda and seconded by Senator San Augustine. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. On the appointments, Legislative Secretary.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. From the Committee on Public Accountability, Human Resources, the Guam Buildup, Hagåtña Revitalization, Regional Affairs, Public Libraries, Telecommunications, and Technology, I move to place the appointment of Catherine T.E. Titano to serve as member, Government Classified Service Representative of the Government of Guam Retirement Fund Board of Trustees onto the session agenda.
On that motion, is there a second? I'm going to note, colleagues, that a draft session agenda has been provided to each of you, which can be found on the Google Drive folder for this meeting titled 04 Draft Session Agenda. I do apologize, I didn't know that earlier.
Madam Vice, my only question is, Madam Chair? Can
Yes,
I
please
ask
proceed.
Only because we have the agenda set. I have no objection to any of the nominations. On all of them, I actually support every one of them, but can we complete the bills and then we go to the nomination? Just to clear your sheet, and then we can check mark and we're done.
Thank you, I just was hoping to work it per Senator, per oversight chair, so we would finish, but that would be okay. If there's no objections there, would you move to withdraw?
I will withdraw. No
Okay.
problem then.
Thank you, Senator San Augustine. So on that motion, is there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Secretary Shelton, you're still recognized. for
And again,
adjourn-
from the same committee, Madam Chair, I move to place the appointment of Jeremy N.C. Cepeda to serve as member, General Public Representative, Guam Public Library System Board of Directors onto the session agenda.
Is there a second? Seconded, there has been a motion for Jeremy N.C. Cepeda, and seconded by Senator Perez to be placed on the session agenda. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. At this time, I will refer to my Vice Chair, Legislative Secretary Shelton. You are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And from the Committee on Air Transportation, Parks, Tourism, Higher Education, and the Advancement of Women, Youth, and Senior Citizens, I move to place the nomination, the appointment of Rose P. Greeno to serve as a member of the Guam Community College Board of Trustees onto the session agenda.
On that motion, is there a second? Seconded by Senator Perez. Are there any of Senator San Augustine, you are recognized.
Number
Okay,
5.
Got it. I just saw it. Thank you. Nothing.
No worries, Senator San Augustine. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Secretary Shelton, you are still recognized.
From the Committee on Education, Self-Determination, and Historic Preservation, Infrastructure, Border Safety, Federal and Foreign Affairs, and Maritime Transportation, Madam Chair, I move to place the appointment of Dr. Aldrin B. Cahigal to serve as a member of the Guam Commission for Educator Certification onto the session agenda.
Is there a second? There's a seconded by Senator Perez. Are there any objections for this placement? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Secretary Shelton, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. From the same committee, I move to place the nomination of Ronald L. McNinch, Jr., Ph.D., to serve as a member, Upper Level Management and Private Business Representative of the Guam Education Board onto the session agenda.
There's been a motion by Secretary Shelton and seconded by Senator San Augustine. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Secretary Shelton, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And lastly, from the same committee, I move to place the appointment of David Q. Mercado, Jr. to serve as a member, Public School Teacher Representative of the Guam Commission for Educator Certification onto the session agenda.
Is there a second? There has been a motion by Senator Shelton and seconded by Senator San Augustine. Are there any objections to this motion? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Secretary Shelton.
Thank you very much. And this one is the last one. From the same committee, I move to place the nomination of Chelsea Ting San Nicholas to serve as a member of the community at large of the Guam Commission for Educator Certification onto the session agenda.
Is there a second? Seconded. There has been a motion by Secretary Shelton and seconded by Senator Perez. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Secretary Shelton, for your committees, any? All done? I will acknowledge Speaker Terlahi. You are recognized at this time.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I'd like to, I'll start with nominations, so I don't
Yes,
forget.
please.
Yes, I'm going to begin with the motion to place the nomination of Jesse U. Beleto, as reported out by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, to serve as a member of the General Public Representative, the Guam Board of Social Work.
On that motion by Speaker Terlahi, seconded by Senator Perez, are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Speaker Terlahi.
Yes, thank you. And from the same committee, the nomination of Nonito V. Blas to serve as a member of the Guam Land Use Commission.
On that motion, seconded by Senator Joe San Agustin, are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Speaker Terlahi, you may
Thank you, Madam
proceed.
Chair. From the same committee, the nomination of Catherine C. San Nicolas to serve as a member of the Guam Board of Allied Health Examiners.
On that motion, seconded by Senator Perez, are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Speaker, you still have the floor.
Yeah, as to bills, I don't have any to move right now that are fully reported out of committee, but I am hoping that some of these will be reported out and we'll bring them up during the session. So,
Thank you so much, Speaker Terlahi. Next we have is Senator, and I'll just go down the line and work it through. Senator Joe San Agustin.
Madam Vice, I don't have any bill other than just to report out that Bill 7 and Bill 60 has been submitted to the Committee on Rules. Hopefully by this session, it'll be introduced to be added onto the agenda. If you want me to identify what the bill is, other than just the number?
Just for the,
Okay, Bill 7-36 was introduced by Senator Ada, and it was amended by the Committee on General Government Operation and Appropriation Act to add Section 26203K38 to Chapter 26 and a new Section 28106I to Chapter 28, both of Title 11, Guam Code relative to exempting medical equipment and telemedicine technology from the business privilege tax and the use tax. That has been submitted to the Committee on Rules for clearance for your agenda. The next bill is Bill 60 that we're all familiar with, is the act to amend Section 403H of Chapter 4, Title 1, Guam Code annotated relative to changing the official name of the municipality of Inaran to its name in Chamorro language, namely Inalan. Ma'am, they've both been submitted, and hopefully it'll be cleared by when we get to session to be added on the agenda. Thank you.
thank you very much, Senator San Agustin. For the record, I will note that the Committee on Rules have received set reports and that the bill is still pending review. And as soon as the bills have been uploaded online, the main sponsor may move it at the appropriate time on session floor, so si Juas Malasi duly noted for the committee. Anything else, Senator Shelton? Senator San Agustin. Senator Sabina Perez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place, so I'll start with the appointments. I move to place from the Committee on Environment, Revenue and Taxation, Labor Procurement, Statistics, Research, and Planning, the nomination of Juan Carlo S. Pangilinan to serve as a member of the Alcoholic Control Board with a recommendation to do confirm.
Is there a second on this? Seconded by Speaker Therese Terlahi. Are there any objections? Hearing no objections, motion carries. Senator Parrish, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also move to place the nomination of Michelle B. Santos to serve from the Committee on Environment, Revenue, Taxation, Labor, Procurement, Statistics, Research, and Planning to serve as the Banking and Insurance Commissioner of the Department of Revenue and Taxation with a recommendation to do confirm.
On that motion, is there a second? Second by Senator Pito Terlahi. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Senator Parrish, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I move, I'll be going on to the bill section. So I move to place Bill 33-36 COR as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue and Taxation, Labor, Procurement, Statistics, Research, and Planning. It's an act to add a new section 5141N of subarticle E, Article 2, Chapter 5, Title 5, Guam Code annotated. and add a new section 1924 to Chapter 19, Title I Guam Code Annotated, relative to requiring Government of Guam agencies to submit a procurement training compliance report to the Office of the Public Accountability.
Is there a second to that motion? There's a second by Senator Pito Talahi. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Senator Perez, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place Bill number 52-36 COR as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue and Taxation, Labor Procurement, Statistics, Research, and Planning. It's an act to repeal and reenact Section 5233 of Subarticle D, Article 3, Chapter 5, Title 5, Guam Code Annotated, relative to disclosure of ownership, financial, and conflict of interest under Guam procurement law.
On that motion, is there a second? Is there a second? There's a second by Senator Clint Rachel. Are there any objections to this? Hearing or seeing no objections, motion carries. Senator Parrish.
That concludes. Thanks.
Thank you. Senator Pito Terlahi.
Mic is on.
It's
Okay.
on.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I motion to place Bill number 2336 COR on the session agenda, and let me just read
Please do.
an act to authorize the Guam Police Department to use lapse fund from the fiscal year 2019 to be used for operational expenses of the department.
Senator Terlahi, is that Bill
That's 2336.
2336 as amended? Would you like to, if you may, can you just read the complete title for the record?
Bill 2336 as amended by the Committee on General Government Operation, Appropriation, and Housing is an act to appropriate $81,744.51 and $213,703.24 to the Guam Police Department from fiscal year 2020 lapses funds of the Police Patrol Vehicle Revolving Fund and the Safe School Initiative for GPD's operational expenses.
On that motion by Senator Pito, there is a second by Senator Joseph Augustine. Is there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Senator Pito Terlahi, you still
Thank
have
you,
the
Madam
floor.
Chair. I move to make a motion to place Bill number 4536 COR. And let me just read the article. I think this is more complete. 4536.
Yes, right there.
Bill, I'm moving up to the G group. Bill number 4536 COR is amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, introduced by myself, Say Peter Terlais, and Vice Speaker Tina Rose Munya Barnes, is an act to amend Section 25.15C and 25.20C is an act, a new Section 25.25C, all of the Chapter 25, Title 9, Guam Code annotated relative to mandatory minimum sentence for repeat sexual offenders.
On that motion, is there a second? Is there a second? It has been seconded by Senator Joseph Augustine. All those in favor? Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Senator Pito Terlahi.
Madam Chair, I'm not sure if Bill 2536 has gone through COR yet.
Yes,
It is?
has.
So if I can read it, I want to make a motion to place Bill 2536 COR to the session agenda.
25. Please proceed with 25.
Okay, this is an act to amend A and F of Section 63103.1 of Article 4 of Chapter 63 of Title 5 GCA relative to the stipend of the civilian conservation reservists at the Department of Agriculture.
As amended.
Let me read the section as amended by the Committee on General Government Operation, Appropriation, and Housing, introduced by myself and Tina Rose Munoz Barnes, is an act to amend Section 63103.1 of Article 1, Chapter 63, Title 5, Guam Code Annotated, relative to the stipend of the Civilian Conservation Reservists at the Department of Correction.
On that motion, is there a second? Seconded by Senator Joseph Augustine. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Senator Pito?
Thank you, Madam Chair, but that is all I have to present this
Thank you.
afternoon.
Senator Clint Ridgell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move to place from the Committee on Economic Development, Agriculture, Power, and Energy Utilities and the Arts the nomination of Donna W. Kloppenberg to serve as a member of the Guam Council of the Arts and Humanities Agency Board of Directors to the session agenda.
There's been a motion by Senator Clint Ridgell, seconded by Senator Sabina Perez. Is there any objection? Hearing no objections, motion carries. Senator Clinton, you're still recognized.
From the same committee, to move the nomination of Francisco B. Rabon to serve as a member of the Guam Council of the Arts and Humanities Agency Board of Directors
Is
to the
there a
session
second?
agenda.
Seconded by Senator Sabina Perez. Thank you, Senator Ridgell. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries for Mr. Frank Rabon. Senator Clinton, you're still recognized.
No further motions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Senator Mary Torres, you are recognized. Nothing. Senator Frank Blas?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I move to move Bill number 8-36 COR as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, sponsored by Senator V. Anthony Ada, an act to add a new subsection 80.31.2D of Article 2, Chapter 80, Title 9, Guam Code Annotated, relative to excluding individuals convicted of first or second degree criminal sexual conduct from the sentencing reductions of the Justice Safety Evolve Act.
On the motion, it was seconded by Senator Joseph Augustine. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. Senator Frank Blas, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I'd like to make...
Brother Frank, Senator, can you please just speak into
Yes,
the mic?
okay.
Apologize.
I apologize, por favor. I moved 58. Where's 58? Madam Chair, I move to move Bill number 58-36 COR as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, sponsored by Senators James C. Moylan, V. Anthony Ada, Christopher M. Duenas, and Tilina Cruz Nelson. An act to amend Section 2B of Public Law 34-112 relative to providing a 5-year extension to the deadline for the Guam Customs and Quarantine Agency to develop a functioning customs satellite inspection holding and secured sterile facility area.
On that motion, as proffered by Senator Blas, it's seconded by Senator Perez. Are there any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. Senator Frank Blas, you're still recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's not on the agenda. I'm hoping that it is already in the Committee on Rules. I'd like for consideration to move Bill number 5-36 COR. It's been referred to the Committee on General Government Operations, Appropriations, and Housing. It's an act to amend subsection 26202A, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, L, and J to all of Article 2, Chapter 26, Title 11, Guam Code Annotated, relative to reducing the business privilege tax from 5% to 4%.
Senator Frank Blas, thank you for that motion, but I must disclose that that bill has not had a public hearing yet. So, for the record, Senator Augustine has not been heard.
No, that bill hasn't been heard, hasn't even been scheduled yet.
Okay,
Thank you, Senator
so that
Augustine.
means no.
No, there's not a question of yes or no. Is if it's not been heard,
Oh, but
there's
it
no
means,
committee report there.
it
Primo.
means no, it
Senator
means no
Sanas.
now.
Thank
Right?
you.
Senator
Just
Frank
Marcy.
Blas, just note for the record that based on the standing
No,
rules. Thank
I'm-
you very much.
I'm not going to be accused of not trying.
Thank you. Senator Blas, I will still give you the floor, my brother.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That's all I have for you today.
Thank you. I do have Senator Clint Rangel for a follow-up.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to note, if Bill 62-36 LS is reported out on time, I'd like to add it to the session agenda. And that is a bill introduced by myself as well as Tina Rose Munya Barnes, an act to amend subsection 4310D and 4370, both of .70, excuse me, both of Chapter 43, Title 9 Guam Code annotated relative to penalties and restitution for theft of livestock or agricultural products.
Thank you
Again,
very much, Senator Rangel.
If it comes in on time, I'd like to opportunity to
That-
move it.
Thank you. I will note that it did have a public hearing.
Yes.
And as
Madam
soon...
Speaker?
Yes,
We did,
Speaker.
as I told the sponsor, we are working on that report right now. It should be routing
Yes.
today, or I'm sure today, but anyways, yeah. So there were several, as I said, from my committee that we're still hoping will be routed on time for session.
Thank you so much, Speaker, for that update. Senator Frank Blas, I will still recognize you for a status update.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I just want to affirm that, as was noted earlier by my good colleague in the other end, Senator Joseph Augustine, that we have moved to allow consideration bills 7-36 and 60-36. If the committee reports and everything, that they can move it on the floor.
That's correct. Madam Vice Speaker and Senator Frank Primo, the report is done.
It's
It's
been
already
missed.
at the committee. It's their final review. Once they clear and they upload it, come the session time, I would ask to move it to the agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am?
Duly noted,
Thank you.
Senator Blas, and as noted earlier, as soon as the bill gets uploaded and is online, the main sponsor may move at the appropriate time on session floor. That may be allowed by the Speaker. Senator Mary Torres, I will recognize you for an update at this time.
Not necessarily an update, Madam Chair. I wanted to ask if the Speaker might give us a heads up on what other bills might be ready from the other committees, just so we're aware and can prepare. I understand 62-36 is one, but just for information purposes.
She did mention,
Yes.
would you like to mention the numbers again, Madam Speaker?
Yes. Bill number 51, which is relative to use of property for the soccer field and related facilities. That's number 51. 62, we've already talked about. Possibly 43, not sure about that. And we're still working on the others, so still working on 36 and that one, 44. But yeah, if my bill is ready out of the committee, bill number 42, I'm going to try to move that one also. It's the nursing incentive pay.
Thank you. Senator Torres.
No, I just wanted to say thank you for the information, because it does help knowing that we have about 9 bills on and a potential 8 or 9 in the pipeline. So it's good for us to at least to be prepared to kind of have an idea of what might come down. So thank you very much for the heads up. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Senator Torres, and thank you very much, Speaker Terlai. Colleagues, I would like to note from the Committee on Rules, I'd like to take the time to thank the staff for their due diligence on pushing through, working closely with my Vice Chair. More importantly, so that we are probably on bills that have been introduced to date, we are already in the 80s. The majority of the bills have been referred below the timeline required. And also want to note that, as stated earlier, the bills that were asked legal opinion on, we did receive the legal opinion from the Bureau, and those bills will be referred out today accordingly. So if there are... Yes. Do I hear a motion to adopt the session agenda?
Yes, Madam Speaker, so moved.
On that motion,
Madam Madam Chair, I'm just curious, there's one more nomination, I don't know, maybe it was brought up on Catherine Taitano? Was that brought up already? I mean, I'm just want to make...
Catherine E.
Oh, that was,
Taitano,
okay, I
yes.
just want to check. Okay, thank you then.
Thank you very much. And I do apologize to my vice chair. It is that time where we now go into extension. Yes. On the motion, is there a second by Legislative Secretary to adopt the session agenda? There has been a seconded by Senator Joe San Augustine. Are there any objections? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. We are now at extension of remarks. Anyone? Senator San Augustine, you're recognized for any extension of remarks.
I'd just like to remind our colleagues that, number one, we need to understand that committee reports is very time-consuming. When you look at the date of the hearing and the date we're pushing it out, if the bills are simple, my committee, we will push it out as fast as we can. But it's very time-consuming, so just be patient, and we will get every bill that we've heard out, and as soon as we have dates scheduled for hearings, we'll have hearings, and then it'll be produced. So just be mindful. So I understand as we're asking for bills to be considered, just be patient. Because when it's heard, then you'll know the results. Thank you, Madam Vice.
Si Diyos Masi, Senator San Augustine. If there are no other extension of remarks, does the chair hear a motion to adjourn? So moved by the legislative, seconded by Senator Frank Blas. Is there an objection? Seeing or hearing none, motion carries. We are adjourned at 3:44 p.m. Thank you.